Hello from Scotland to all of the Americans watching this. Yes, that's right. The UK police have threatened to come over to America, arrest you, drag you back to the UK because you dare comment online about the UK riots or UK civil war at this point. That's it, Americans, start arming yourselves. Yeah, like there's any threat to begin with. Also, average rural American. Now, before we get into the American side of this, I want to show the Americans watching this that not all of us over here are communist lefties. There are some people like myself who will fight against this at all costs. And secondly, just to show the Americans or people outside the UK how beyond bad it has gotten over here. But before we get into it, it's not a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, but I would like your help to begin with. Would you prefer me making longer videos like this going forward on a daily basis, or would you prefer shorter, punchier videos multiple times throughout the day, so it's a bit easier to consume? Let me know down below and what you'd prefer. So we've got something here from the Home Office official Twitter page. There is no place in society for armchair thugs. We'll get into the definition of that quite soon. This man was sentenced to 20 months in prison after posting online calling for violent mobs to attack a hotel housing asylum seekers. So let's get right into this. Our warning to anyone thinking of getting involved in this type of criminality is clear. If you cause or incite violence or comment related offending, we will take all necessary steps and use all means at our disposal to bring you to justice. Basically, the First Amendment over here doesn't exist, and we have no human rights, we have no freedom of speech, no freedom of expression, we have no freedom, end of story. Hey, what happens when you voluntarily give up your guns? Ta-da! It always leads to this. Again, the Americans got that part right for sure. God bless the First and Second Amendment. Now, the fact that we're in a country that is so fucking beyond mentally feeble and weak that people are going to jail for 20 months because of their views and opinions online just shows you that this country needs to be carpet bombed from John O'Groats to Cornwall, tip top to bottom top, to say the very least. And also, I want to talk about this thugs. Again, I don't know how you can be a verbal thug, only physical, because I looked up the definition of thug or thugs, and it says here, a violent, aggressive person, especially one who is a criminal. He was attacked by a gang of thugs. So again, I don't know how you can be a verbal online thug. It just doesn't make any sense in any way, shape or form. Of course, historically, it comes from this. A member of group or organisation of robbers and assassins in India who waylaid and strangled their victims, usually travellers, and stole their belongings. They were suppressed by the British in the 1830s as well. So again, I don't know how it's possible to be a verbal, physical thug at your home with no one around you. Again, they're just making stuff up at this point, and this isn't the only case of it as well. Let's look at this clip right here. Now, if you want to pause and read, as you can tell, I'm Scottish, I'm autistic, I have a tongue too big and a mouth too small. Not the greatest for making these videos, however, I'll continue to do so nonetheless. If you want to pause and read this, feel free to, but this video pretty much says it all. This is a man being sentenced for 20 months for a Facebook post, the same man, because he gave his views and opinions on how beyond dire the UK has become. Listen to this.
Went on to say that you did not want your money going to immigrants who, quote, rape our kids and get priority, end quote. This offence is so serious that an immediate custodial sentence is unavoidable. Would you stand, please? The sentence that I pass has been reduced by 1/3 to reflect your guilty plea. The sentence is one of 20 months imprisonment.
Yes, you heard that right. Because of how extreme and violent his words were on Facebook on a post that he made, that they had no choice but to give him an instant custodial sentence of 20 months, which was reduced by 1/3. It was meant to be 30 months, but because he bent the knee to them and decided to have a guilty plea, they dropped it to only 20 months. Again, please bear in mind you can vote your way into communism, but you cannot vote your way out of communism, as pretty much shown here up and down the UK. Also, just to add about the whole jailing thing in the UK, about a month-ish ago, 6 weeks, Keir Starmer got into power and said that there's no more space for in the jail systems because they're chock-a-block, and he decided that if you had served 40% or more of your jail sentence, then you will be instantly released, which he did, and that released a lot of rapey people, to say the very least, and people who have actually committed a lot of terror acts and grooming gangs, etc., etc. However, we've now got the space somehow to put, verbal bullies into prison for 20 months for daring having a view or opinion as well, which again just blows my mind. Also, they've opened the courts 24/7 in the UK to deal with these armchair thugs, as they like to call them. Again, communism, the greatest weight loss program on the planet. Oh, I hate living in the UK as well. And today, we are now at the American stage as well. We've got this clip right here of this police officer threatening to arrest anyone in the planet, although this was aimed at the Americans, because if my memory serves me right, it was because the American trolls were hitting the UK live chat policing system to put through fake things that had happened, which were just funny as anything in my honest opinion. And this was the police's response to the Americans taking the piss out of our situation. So let's play this as well.
We will throw the full force of the law at people. And whether you're in this country committing crimes on the streets or committing crimes from further afield online, we will come after you.
Talk to me about that, because we have seen some high-profile figures whipping up the hatred. You talked about it in there with the officers, in fact, about this being added to by online commentary. I mean, I'm even thinking of the likes of Elon Musk getting involved. What are you considering when it comes to dealing with people who are whipping up this kind of behaviour from behind a keyboard, maybe in a different country?
Being a keyboard warrior does not make you safe from the law. You can be guilty of offences of incitement, of stirring up racial hatred. There are numerous terrorist offences regarding the sort of publishing of material. All of those offences are in play if people are provoking hatred and violence on the streets, and we will come after those individuals just as we will physically confront on the streets the thugs and the obs who are causing the problems for communities.
What I find quite funny about this as well is that they think they are so beyond funded and have so much staff or police lying about that they can threaten Americans to extradite them to the UK because of meanie words, which again, haha, First Amendment, try that one in America. Also, rack a 12 gauge round, to say the very least. I've said this in a few videos and I'll say it again, as seen in the Lotus Eater podcast and in one of my previous videos very recently, 1/3 of all UK police officers will retire, and that number probably will jump up to more than half of the police officers are now in the process of retiring because they are sick to death of having to enforce this absolute communist insanity, this dystopian nightmare that is now plaguing the UK as well. And the fact that this man is so beyond deluded, this police officer, to think that they have the actual resources to start attacking Americans and even extradite them, again, haha, First Amendment followed by the Second Amendment, yeah, good luck with that one. It's just beyond mental illness at this point, to say the very least as well. And, well, what was the average American response to this? Well, we've got a tweet from this guy right here. Oh, it's playing. Let's full screen this. I've noticed that I have doubled in subscribers in the past 48 hours. I'm nearly at 2,000 already. My channel seems to be doing really well for itself. And a lot of those people seem to be much older people. So I'll warn everything. This is what free speech sounds like, and I will not censor it, even though it might get me in trouble, right? This is going to be very, very dark humoured and just completely unfiltered, so brace yourself. 3, 2, 1, First Amendment.
I heard that Americans can get extradited now for committing hate speech about the UK. So I just want to say, Keir Starmer, you are a nigger faggot. Extradite me, fucking bitch, pussy, nigger faggot.
Yeah, bro, you're a fucking faggot, bro. You are the biggest faggot I think I've ever seen on the entire internet, and you should try to extradite us. Also, I was thinking, if our country decided that tomorrow we're gonna fucking invade you, I'm signing up. You're fucked.
Kier, I would rip the fucking wig off of you, stuff it up your ass like Gaddafi, and sodomize you so you fucking... Yeah, full disclaimer, the sodomizing part was a joke, but Keir Starmer is totally a nigger fag, and I dare you to extradite me.
Now, that is what free speech sounds like, because again, the First Amendment protects them, although I will say, with their current government over there for quite the past few years, yeah, they're getting a bit violated at the moment, but compared to us, Jesus Christ, I wish I had what they had over there as well. Yeah, I would really like to see the UK police, you know, finish bullying us off as they're doing right now, because nothing seems to be getting done about that, but I suppose the riots are something getting done about it. But to go over to America, try and violate their human rights, and also try and kick their door down to see how well that goes. The UK police are the biggest fucking pussies on the planet. They run away from an empty milk carton getting thrown at them. They are beyond spineless and weakless. Again, let's think about this. Even if the armed police showed up to your door because you called somebody a faggot online, for example, and that's beyond racism and homophobia and just an absolute war crime by some miracle. If they show up to your door to arrest you and the person inside that house is armed, but so are the police, do you really think all the men outside who are the police officers are really wanting to risk their lives charging into somebody's house who's going to open fire on them and then potentially bleeding out on some random guy's floor where the last thought that goes through that police officer's head is, it was only an opinion at the end of the day, and just keels over and dies? No, it's a great deterrent. This is why you very rarely hear about this in America. This is why police officers don't go sawing people's doors down in half. Yes, they're doing that in the UK right now and arresting people for literally pushing wheelie bins during a riot. Again, that is true. Or because of their Facebook or Twitter posts. Again, could you imagine if we had that equaliser in the UK? Oi mate, we're here to arrest you for your tweet. Oh really? I've got a 12 gauge, I've got a 9mm, I've got a 5.56. What have you got? Oh, I've got my baton in it. Yeah, do you really think police officers want to risk their lives when they've got a wife and child to provide for at home over a fucking tweet? No, they would just go, I'm not doing that. Fire me or just fuck off in general. Like, nobody's going to risk their lives to get into a serious fight or a serious fight for their life, kill or be killed, over tweets. But because we have no way of defending ourselves in any way, shape or form in the UK, because, you know, the British people absolutely beyond rely on the government to protect them, therefore they have 100% faith in the UK police to protect them. Ha 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 ha. How well is that working out so far, people of the UK? I bet you regret giving up your guns after the Dunblane massacre, you stupid fucks. But anyway, nobody is wanting to charge into anyone's house and start a massive gunfight over some potentially spicy words. And I know what some people's response are going to be, oh, but the police will probably have better weapons, they'll be full auto with better ammunition in it, and they'll have armour and training. That doesn't magically stop you from having your head blown off or having your thorax ripped out by a bunch of 5.56s or getting your legs popcorned by 12 gauge, does it? No, exactly. I would not want to charge into somebody's house and try and arrest somebody who's armed, even if I'm armed, over a fucking tweet or Facebook post or pushing a wheelie bin during a riot. I want to live. I want to go home and see my wife and kids. I want to have vacations. I want to still do amazing things. I do not want to risk my life over something so beyond gay and retarded in the name of gay retarded communism. And I think this man just absolutely explained it perfectly of how beyond retarded Keir Starmer is as well, and how beyond communist this country has become. I absolutely love certain things about America, but when it comes to the right for freedom of speech with the First Amendment, and if that gets violated, well, the Second Amendment comes into play. Sheesh, I fucking love that, to be quite honest with you. And we do not have either of that. We gave up our guns after the Dunblane massacre, although the Hungerford massacre before that also kind of went down that path as well, but we gave up our firearms in the name of safety, and the UK government pretty much said, okay, let's ban all legal firearms so the criminals can't get their hands on firearms illegally. Do you see the problem with that? Also, I find it quite funny that gun crime has skyrocketed since then, and it's become an absolute joke. We're borderline America over here now. The other thing as well that I hear stupid British people saying on a daily basis is, oh, why do we need guns in the UK? I don't want to turn into America with the school shootings. Yeah, what happened in Southport? Oh, it was the exact same thing that a bunch of little kids got rapidly stabbed in the face and chest, but it was a knife. Oh, should we ban knives? Okay, it'll be blunt force instruments like cricket bats or baseball bats. Oh, let's ban cricket bats and baseball bats. You see the problem with this? It's not the weaponry that's the problem, it's the fact it's evil men. And because we were importing them because they come from third world insane asylums, most of them. Quite literally, I'm not making that up either as well. But again, we're not armed, we're not allowed public self-defense by law. Literally, we have nothing. You're not even allowed pepper spray over here, which is gay. You're not allowed to be armed in any way, shape or form, and you've got to go, oh no, my 5-year-old's getting rapidly stabbed by some illegal immigrant who's got an illegal weapon. Oh, how did he get that? I'll just phone the police. Yeah, there's a bunch of kids getting stabbed rapidly, and I don't have any way of defending myself because it is illegal to do so, and I'm not allowed to have any weapons on me for self-defense because that's illegal. So I am now phoning you to maybe show up in 2 to 3 business days. Yeah, that's where has the agency gone for men in the UK to actually be able to act upon the moment and be able to arm themselves to protect the people around them that they love? It has fucking died, honestly. And the fact that the police are just beyond communist enforcers at this point, communist stormtroopers to say the very least. We can't rely on the police anymore. Crime's not getting solved unless you say, fade it on Twitter. Then you'll have the police at your door as well. Oh God, I despise this country with an absolute burning passion. Again, I believe in firearms for everyone. I believe it's a genuine human rights violation that you're not allowed to protect yourselves with weapons or in general. In fact, you're not even allowed to protect yourself with words anymore in the UK. The Americans got that right. The First and Second Amendment, keep fighting for it because you'll end up turning into gay, retarded, communist UK Americans. But anyway, I'll wrap the video up there. Thank you very much for tuning in, it's greatly appreciated. If you could like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, again, it would be awesome. The absolute beyond explosive support I've had in the past 3 days has been absolutely, I love you so much for it. We've nearly doubled in subs, we've had more views than I've had an entire year off of one video, and the comments I've had more than all comments combined before 2 or 3 days ago. Again, thank you so much for the support. I absolutely love yous all, and we're getting very, very close to being able to monetize this channel. We need an extra 1,000 hours of watch time in all my videos combined, so if we can get ad revenue, that would be awesome. I can start making a living out of this. But if you want to follow me on Twitter for some truly uncensored opinions, it's here at rant-A-holic, linked in the pinned top comment as well. I am not censored on this in any way, shape or form, so you'll definitely get a good laugh of following me over here. But please go check out my other videos, they've been doing very well. It gives you a better insight on what's happening to the UK with the riots, the government, the police, the mainstream media, etc, etc. But anyway, I'll let yous all go. I love yous all, and as always, keep on rocking. Have a great day and a better week to follow. See yous, and Americans, don't turn into the UK. Stay away from us.